turn on the heat with men who mark fate at the wheel. They continue in any condition. It's every man for himself.
Number 10.
Good move by Mike Wallace on the inside. The FTP Brake Chevrolet back up front. Mark Martin has picked up where he left off before. One car spinning. The car number 41.
Johnny Benson, as a car takes a roll as it slid backwards. Apparently the air just picked the back end of it up and around and rolling over.
Different angle again for that scary crash here in the early laps. Looking across the racetrack, you see the rear of the car starting to get off the ground. You'll get a sense of actually how high this car will lift here as it came off the ground and begins to tumble. Higher than some of the scaffolds there where our cameras are located.
Number 9.
Terry Labonte is and Derry Cope has gone up over the tire barrier. Let's see what happens.
John Krebs. John Krebs goes, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Out through there in front of Derry Cope.
Like I said, folks, there's trouble everywhere around this course.
That is a wild ride. There you can see Cope. He is out of the car and walking away. There is John Krebs, and boy, are we glad to see him up walking around after an unbelievable incident.
Number 8.
Ernie Irvin, Ricky Rudd, Kyle Petty, Earnhardt, the front four, as they continue to try to sort this race out.
Caution.
Yellow is back on the track. We got a major crash through the tri-oval. Car on fire coming to the line right here in front of us. It's Ted Musgrave's car, front and rear. And Bonnet's car is also involved in the incident.
Wow, his car got upside down.
Into the catch fence went the Neil Bonnet, car number 31. From inside of Bonnet's car.
All right.
Neil Bonnet, okay.
Number 7.
Incredible picture from the blimp as to how this field is deployed and how they shuffle at this 190-mile-per-hour speed. All of these cars fighting to win the 500.
Look at Jarrett in the green car. He jumped down the inside. It's putting him up into third place. They're trying to bring him in.
Trouble behind Rusty Wallace is turning over.
Rusty Wallace, 20 feet in the air, spinning, crashing.
Well, I'll tell you, when they're running that close together and jockeying around position, you just know that things like this are going to happen.
There's Jarrett. He gets in the line. The 66 car right behind Waltrip. Looked like they tapped. They touched right there, the 66. And then Rusty, he gets clipped right there, turns sideways, and we know what happened after that. The air gets out of the car. Yeah, it looked like the 66 and the 30. Look at Rusty's car, how high in the air. Real violent flips right here. Boy.
Well, similar to Daryl Waltrip here in the 400-miler in July a couple of years ago. There it is again.
Another angle. Looks like Derek Cope was involved.
Yeah, he clipped the 30 car of Michael Waltrip. They got together.
And as you watch that, it reminds me a bit of the late Connie Saylor, who passed away just a week ago. Remember when he sailed down the backstretch, Ned? What a great racer he was, and died of cancer this past week. But he had an incident similar, except he went the whole backstretch upside down.
We're in Jeff Bodine's car now as he goes through there. He said, I got by that one accepting that a big piece of debris off of Wallace's car hit him right in the top of the windshield.
The 1989 Winston Cup champion, Rusty Wallace, walks away from the remains of that car. Unbelievable.
Number 6.
Leading this.
Oh, look at Earnhardt got sideways. Somebody looked like made some contact.
Uh-oh, we've got a problem.
Contact here. For sure, Daryl Waltrip is still running. Waltrip's car gets on the roof and over.
Daryl Waltrip tumbling down the backstretch. What appears to be a very, very serious crash. Joe Ruttman, the other car involved in that incident.
You know, it's the perfect storm. If nothing had happened, if we'd have stayed side by side, Joe would have probably pulled out, stalled out, and we'd have kept on going. But because Sterling bumped into the back of Allen, and that made Allen get a little loose, and he came over toward me, and I had to move over. Well, here comes Joe, and Joe hooks me in the left rear. I knew when I went off the racetrack, I keyed the button. I remember, I said, man, I'm in trouble.
I think the thing that scared me the most is that, you know, I couldn't get to him, and you had to be at the mercy of what's going on television. And so they do a really quick, okay, there he is, and then they cut away. So I've got a NASCAR official, you know, by the shirt collar. What's going on? Tell me what's going on. Where are they taking him? Immediately he said, they're taking him to infield care center. So I'm taking off running to the infield care center. Then they grabbed me as I'm coming to the infield care center and said, oh no, we're taking him straight on to Halifax, which is the main hospital. And it's like, all of a sudden, all the life in me about went out.
Number 5.
And there, no! Steve Grissom with a horrible crash. It's knocked the gas tank out of the 41 car. That's what we see blazing over there. Is I think the gas tank is over against the wall. I mean, is that unbelievable? It's unbelievable how quickly that Steve Grissom is going straight, and the next instant he's going straight into the wall and backs into the wall, and then over he goes. And gasoline is thrown every place. Mike Wallace goes through it, ignites the gasoline. Kenny Wallace comes through, almost hits the 41 car as he's coming to a stop.
Steve is complaining of an ankle injury, and that's it. His wife Susan is in there. They have spoken, so Steve appears to be okay. He does have an ankle injury. That's what he's telling the medical people right now, so we'll have more information. But right now, it certainly appears to be extremely good news for Steve Grissom after a horrifying crash on the backstretch here.
Well, I'll take an ankle injury for what he could have come out of this with, huh?
Yeah. I mean, there's no back of the car. It's completely gone. The Kodiak Chevrolet, it's just gone.
Number 4.
Mark Martin gets sandwiched again back there, this time as they go back to turn 1.
And Martin's into the wall now. Trouble in turn number 1. Mark spins out of control. The whole pack is involved. Cars tumbling through the air, over on all twisting around and hit again as it comes back to the bottom of the racetrack in the corner. A savage crash in turn 1. Several cars involved, and we have a pile of cars sitting at the bottom of the banking in turn 1.
This is number 3.
There we see Davey on the inside. He is on the inside of Derek Cope, trying to get by him, and meanwhile, Daryl Waltrip right on the back bumper of Davey.
And he's upside down. Into the guardrail, side over side, end over end, and Davey Allison has experienced a horrifying crash.
See some contact between Daryl Waltrip and Davey Allison, and the car just flew through the air.
Well, he got on the air, in the air very quickly.
It goes over the top of the guardrail. Yep. Flipped right over the top of the guardrail.
The safety crew is right there. It stopped just in front of one of the safety trucks.
I take these glasses off, it kind of reminds you of Beetlejuice. Take them off. But I promise you, it doesn't look like that from the inside.
Take them off.
If y'all want to see it, I'll show them to you, but it's ugly.
Number 2.
Earnhardt on the inside and Sterling Marlin outside.
And Ernie going with Earnhardt down on the inside. That's going to hit. Oh, he got trouble.
Terrible crash. Front of the field all torn up. Earnhardt's number 3. Head on into the wall at 190 miles an hour.
He almost got upside down. That car got very high off the ground.
And they're going to cut him out of the car. And Earnhardt is on his feet. Dale Earnhardt attempting to walk to the ambulance. Never, never doubt that cliche about Dale Earnhardt. One tough customer gives the thumbs up as he walks away from one of the worst incidents in his racing career.
This is number 1.
Ernie Evans wins and Rusty spins and gets airborne and flips wildly right at the start-finish line, very reminiscent of his accident at Daytona.
Oh, man. That is too bad. Come on, brother. Let's see. Earnhardt right up on the back bumper of Rusty, and he does touch him.
That's why. Around it goes.
And the car overturns about 6 or 7 times, pirouetting on its nose, end over end, side over side.
And I tell you what, it looks like a bomb has went off on the way down to the car.
I went down and talked to Rusty. I got his gloves. He took his gloves off. He was talking to me while they were getting him out of the car. And I just hope he ain't hurt seriously or not. One of them racing deals. You know, I was trying to get under him, and he cut down, and I'd already had my momentum up.